So this is how humanity has been trained to have it backwards. It's in all of the little sayings, the quaint little sayings, such as, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. Someone that knows nature would know, trust the horse. If the horse is not drinking the water, potentially it's been poisoned or there's something wrong with the water, because a thirsty horse would drink. Only a human would, I've been rewilded, I've been dehumanized, so I only look like I'm human. I think more like an animal, and so I see that humans are the problem. And so this is where it's the idiot that thinks they have to make everybody else do what they want, instead of paying attention to the ones that are holding back or the ones that can't speak. It's the ones that, like if I was a horse, it's the one that speaks that seems to have a problem connecting. And like therein, I think more like an animal than a human. And this is probably why I cannot relate to humans the same as I can relate to animals in nature. It is our circumstances that raise us, and if that's the case, then I've been very fortunate to have been raised by nature. Other people call that feral. Domesticating humans, essentially, it's like how one would break a horse. They have to break your spirit and your mind in order to ride you. If you're a horse, in order to put the saddle on, they have to break your mind and show you that you have no choice but to participate. And what they do when they're training horses is they work the horse on the end of a leash, on the end of a line, until the horse gets tired. And so once the horse gets tired and they see that they are in a position in which they have no choice but to participate, no choice but to cooperate. That is called breaking a horse. And so humans have been broken much the same way. They're only just starting to see it. And a few years ago, we had a wave of psychologists that took the off-ramp in life. And I got curious about what would cause that. And what would cause that is that at the same time, like hive mentality, they all realized what they'd done to humans and what it was going to take to bring humans back. Because once you snuff a life out in these different psychological manipulative tactics, essentially, whatever gods exist, essentially you piss them all off at one time. And so, there's a series of natural events that happen after that. See, I had rewilded myself, allowed myself to be who I was, out in the forest with my dogs, and I decided I should probably think about learning how to coexist with normal humans and try to reintegrate, because maybe being so separate was not healthy, right? I knew how to play along with people. I've done things in my lifetime. I just haven't utilized those skills. I was busy utilizing other skills. And so, in order to coexist with humanity, I would have to break myself in the brain again. And so I legitimately did that to try to coexist with everybody. And whatever the science is on the things that have happened to me in my lifetime, like, it's not possible. Like, I can kind of exist, but to be a normal human, that'll never happen again. Society broke me the other way. I will never again become a domestic cat or horse for anyone. No one. And that is because humans are completely oblivious about themselves. And the reason why is because of all the lies that they've been told about everything. And so, like, essentially, everybody has to go through school of hard knocks and be broken back to right. And psychologists know this. And the horrors that humanity on a global scale are going to have to suffer, they couldn't live with the fact that they had participated. And these things are happening in police departments. As soon as people, like, the CERN switch is off, as soon as people come out of that fog that machine puts over the entire planet, there's going to be a lot of people that check out in some form. They will choose their own off-ramp, but they will not be able to live with themselves from the choices that from what they did. And the sad part is that it was other beings in control, manipulating the energies to make all of this happen. Absolutely, everybody's been a puppet on a string. No matter what, like, you're looking at your life from the inside out. It's time to start looking at life from the outside in, as though you're not you. You have to look at things as though you are these agencies doing the science. You have to look at yourself as though you're someone else seeing what it is you're showing everybody else. Too many people get locked inside and they're only thinking about, oh, well, my intentions were. Like, I didn't mean it that way. But that's because you're still looking at it from the inside out instead of seeing the perspective in your own actions that you're giving other people. And so what I found was that by copying other people and being like them in action, what I was actually doing was leading people to believe the opposite about me. And so I had to completely stop copying other people because I'm not them. People were getting the wrong idea about me. And all of society is set up this way. So legitimately, you'll be married for 20 years, and then you'll wake up and realize that you never actually knew each other. That's because you are under basically a romantic spell of sorts. And spell work is just brainwashing. It's poetry that programs your brain. And so that is why I speak to people so plain. This is why words are dangerous. Because there's some very particular people using some very particular magic, putting it through your screen. They know, absolutely know, what kind of magic they are wielding on everybody. And legitimately, Bill of Rights, amendments, like all of the, forget all of the fine print. Your natural right as a human species, as a living, breathing species on this planet has been violated. But this is because nature is trying to wake you up, because nature has been violated in the same way. So many other things have been violated in the same way. Too many people are feeling okay with excusing their actions because it's easier to deny than to actually take accountability and have an emotional movement of guilt for the shit that they've tolerated and the shit that they've done. Perhaps that was you then. Maybe that's not the you now. So what is the big deal with owning that? What's the big deal? You cannot be emotionally moved through the roller coaster of feelings that you have to feel in order to get atonement. Then atonement will be lost to you. Everything's been sold that you have to do all this stuff to get to heaven. Somebody's leading you the wrong way. If all you did in life was sit and process, that's doing something. Look at Stephen Hawking's. How much did he get paid for what he did? And he couldn't lift a finger. It's time to question these things.